Here at Falcon Stadium, glad to be joined by former Notre Dame running back Darius Walker here in the booth for this one. D. Dallas loved Falcon football, and he loved to see that Nate Romine is back at quarterback this year.
And him and a lot of Falcons fans are certainly excited to have him back. They lost him in Game 2 last year. He had knee surgery, but the doctors have given him a clean bill of health, so they're certainly excited to have him back. But he's so vital to this offense, not just because he's the quarterback, but because of that triple option. All decisions are going to go through him, so he needs to be healthy and ready to go.
A lot of great pageantry here. Game day like no other in the United States here at Air Force Academy. Shea Pepler has more on that down on the field. Shea.
Yeah, guys, so you're going to see a flyover above me today. That is to honor the Dias Air Force Base that's based in Abilene, Texas, the home of Abilene Christian. Another thing to keep an eye on today is Chaz Townsend, quarterback for the Wildcats. He's also got a special tie between Abilene Christian Air Force and the Dias Air Force Base. Be sure to keep a special eye on him today, guys.
Shea, thanks very much. So as we look at some of the keys involved in this one, Air Force and Abilene Christian, first off for the visiting Wildcats, Darius.
The Wildcats, they got to win the line of scrimmage. They're going to outweigh the Air Force Academy in terms of their size, so they need to move that weight around. But on defense, it's about gap control. When you're going against that triple option, what they try to do is to get you out of your gaps on defense. So it's going to be vital that the Wildcats play assignment football in terms of their gaps on defense.
All right, so Abilene Christian won the opening toss here. As we look at also the keys to victory here for Air Force as well, things we'll be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, we certainly talked about Air Force and that ball security on offense. It's all going to go through their quarterback in Nate Romine. It's about ball security. Can he make the right decisions every single play within that triple option? And on defense, we know that Dallas Seeley, the quarterback for the Wildcats, can move. So they got to keep him in the pocket. If he gets outside the pocket, not only can he throw it really well, but he can hurt him with his legs.
So as we mentioned, Abilene Christian won the opening toss here. They have elected to defer to the second half, so Air Force will receive to start the game. We're excited to see this offense for Air Force as they look to defend their division crown. It's teed up and underway. Here's Nick Grau, kicks it and taking it near side is the return man, Tim McVeigh, and McVeigh, who pushes the pile across the 25-yard line, and that's where he will be brought down around the 27. So Nate Romine, in his first appearance since week 2 of last season, will bring the offense on the field.
And sometimes, Ray, when you're coming back from injuries, there is a sense of a tendency to just hesitate just a little bit. Maybe you're not as sure of your knee as you were a year ago, so it'll be interesting to see how Nate Romine gets off early in this game. Will he be confident in that knee? Will he be okay?
Jacoby Owens, that all-conference back. And this triple option. The flipped out to Williams, who goes around the left side, across the 30 to the 35, gets out of bounds, close to that first down marker. And again, a look at the offense as DJ Arnold comes up to force Williams out of bounds.
Yeah, a lot of big-time players on this Falcons offensive line. They got 3 seniors on that offensive line. Big boys move a lot of weight up front. Second in for the skill position, you got that Jacoby Owens. We've talked about him, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He's number 28.
Romine, his first pass of the season is caught complete after getting the first down. It's Ryan Riffett with his first catch of 2016.
On the other side for the Wildcats, you look at that big D-line, number 90, LaMarcus Allen. He's the guy to watch. They expect big things out of him. He's a vocal leader. Second level, Sam Denmark will be all over the field. Look for 34. He makes a ton of tackles. And on that back end, Jabari Butler, former freshman of the year in the Southland Conference.
Butler back there as well with Bryson Gates, who comes up with the tackle off on Riffett. The pitch, and here's Owens, who leaps a defender, ball popped loose. Abilene Christian is going to come down with it. So a huge defensive play there for the Wildcats, and DJ Arnold pops it loose.
The Falcons had a chance here. They had a man out on that Wildcat defense. They did not have anyone for the pitch man, so it was a nice play, a nice yardage. You'll see here, watch the pitch. No pitch man, able to run inside, but DJ Arnold comes in and get that helmet right on the football, pops it up. First turnover for the game.
Well, that's the kind of momentum you want to see for the Tigers. This is a program that won just 3 games a year ago. and they used two different quarterbacks in the process. Parker McKenzie, the returning senior, top 10 in a number of passing categories as a flag comes in from the far side.
Number 57, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So a mistake right away, and Ken Cullums, the fifth-year head coach, he won't like to see that right after the momentum of a turnover.
Exactly, but you got to understand, for the Wildcats, it's a little bit of a different atmosphere here at Falcon Stadium. You got to make sure that you have your poise and listen to the plays.
Interesting to see both backs today, and Owens, and on the other side, it's DeAndre Brown, the All-Southland Conference honorable mention performer from a year ago, as Brody Hicks comes up to make the stop for Air Force.
I really like what they have in DeAndre Brown. He's got that power in his legs. This is his third year as the starter, so he's an experienced back.
And a legacy player. His father also suited up for Abilene Christian. Seeley throws his first pass of the afternoon, and it's in and out of the hands of Justin Miller, incomplete.
And that's one of those ones for Dallas Seeley. We haven't touched too much on that quarterback situation, but last year, Parker McKenzie was the man. He lost the job in the summer to Dallas Seeley, so he's number one and has taken over for the starting job for the Wildcats.
And it's what he can do with his legs that seem to be the differentiator. Seeley's pass to the far sideline, a little bit high and out of the reach of the intended receiver on that side.
In this first series, we've seen Dallas Seeley struggle a little bit with that outward pass, that pass to the outside, where it becomes precise that you got to hit it on the money, where that wide receiver is going, not where he was. Two miscues there for the quarterback. He's got to settle down and run their offense.
So Austin Kilcullen back to kick it away. His first punt of the season, the returning punter, returning starter for Abilene Christian. And it's going to bounce out of the back of the end zone as Andrew Smith lets it go back. We're just underway, the early goings here in Colorado Springs. Scoreless in the first quarter.
Welcome back to Falcon Stadium, 0-0 the score, and Nate Romine about to take the field for Air Force. And I asked Coach Calhoun how he's seen quarterback Nate Romine progress since his injury last year, and he said he's had such a long road in terms of recovery over the last 11 months after his ACL surgery. It was such a setback physically for him, and Coach said he's just appreciative of being able to play college football again. He's been crazy dedicated. Coach said you saw that when he was aggressive and pushing to do position drills and gain confidence. He was running on the treadmills. He was in the weight room, guys. So when I asked Coach if he was at all anxious about Nate shaking off some of that rust, he laughed. He said, yeah, I think everyone's a little bit nervous about that, guys.
That's certainly something to be nervous about there, Shay. I mean, those knees are real tricky, Ray. Never know about those things. You got to be secure and confident in that knee.
Well, so far he's at least completed a pass in this one. Now the pitch here to Owens around the right side. A first down, still on his feet as he's pushed out of bounds at the 45.
Ray, this goes right back to our keys for the Wildcats on defense and that gap control. You have to have someone at every position on that triple option. Watch the triple option here. It's the pitch man. Jacoby Owens has done this all year, but when he's able to get outside of that box and you don't have a defender there to take the pitch man, he's going to get big plays all day.
Gavin Burford finally catching up and pushing him out of bounds, but not before the first down from the 44. Owens in motion. Romine looking deep down over the middle. And it's beyond the reach of Jalen Robinette. One of his first targets of the afternoon. The crowd booing, wanting a pass interference there called on the defense.
Something that doesn't happen very often in this Falcon offense is they throw the football. Jalen Robinette's not going to get very many opportunities, but when he does, he has been electric.
And Jabari Butler is on the coverage, so that could be an interesting matchup to watch as the game progresses. Second down and 10. This is Owens again around the right side, spins free and finally stopped right at midfield. So it'll be 3rd and 4.
Owens is so good in space. But when you think about the Wildcats and you think about practicing this week to go against a triple option, one of the things that's hard, Ray, is to simulate that in practice because you don't have the personnel, you don't have the consistency of players that know how to run that offense. So when you get in a game like this going against a triple option and you just haven't seen it, it's much faster than you think, and it's harder to get through that gap control like we've been discussing.
It is. It is something that you rarely see. Most defenses rarely see the triple option, but here, just as we say that, an exciting play is Justin Miller able to get into the backfield and make the tackle on Romine.
That is an excellent play coming down from that backer position. Watch Romine here. Had a little bit of an opportunity to pitch. But Gates was on him so fast. He did not have an opportunity to get the ball out. That's a big time stop for the Wildcats on a pivotal third down.
And Gates with the stop, forcing the fourth down and a punt from Air Force. Steve Brosey kicks it away. Fielded at the 9-yard line by Justin Miller for Abilene Christian. And really nowhere to go. So Abilene Christian able to hold steady on defense. They'll be back on the offense here in just a moment from Air Force.
Score here at Falcon Stadium, guys. Abilene Christian's offense about to take the field. A quick note here on their offense. Receiver Carl Whitley listed as a starting receiver. Guys, he tore his ACL, his right knee, back in November against Southeastern Louisiana. He will not play today. He is dressed but in no pads, will not play, guys.
Such a big blow to the Wildcats when you talk about their offense. I mean, last year they lost their two starters in Gerbert and Epps, the two best receivers they had. So now this wide receiver group is already inexperienced and you lose your top guy. So that'll definitely be something for us to track as a wide receiver production for the Wildcats as the game progresses.
Boy, there are a lot of players just on our notes up here who will be making their debut for the Wildcats. Young freshmen, some redshirt freshmen, as Ken Collins also went out to get some JUCO transfers. Sealy trying to scramble and runs out of room to run. Can't find the receiver, brought down there by Ryan Watson.
Just take a quick look at the starters for the Wildcats. You look at those big boys up front. They will outweigh the defensive line for the Falcons, so it's going to be up to them to be able to move that weight around. And for the skill positions, we talk about Dallas Sealy and what he's done. A couple of miscues in his throws already in this game. He's got to settle down and get things rolling.
One of those big guys, Riley Mayfield, 79. He missed all of last year with a knee injury, but so impressive was his first year that he's a preseason All-Southland Conference pick, even despite not playing. So that tells you what kind of impact he can make. Ryan Watson on the tackle as Air Force changes a little bit of personnel.
Take a quick look here at the Falcons on defense. We talked about Ryan Watson, what he does. He is a beast, but at the second level, they got a lot of talent there, and Hajiji Dunn, and then at the very back end, Weston Stillhammer, one of my favorite players. Love to watch number 8 play safety.
Outstanding. He may be tested here on 3rd and long. Sealy stepping up in the pocket, and the pass is incomplete. And off comes the helmet. Quite interesting there how Vasquez Hayes Lynn on the coverage there.
We just talked about Stillhammer. Watch him come into your screen from the right at the last second and jar this ball out. Because of that presence and because of that hit, also took the helmet off there. Weston Stillhammer, he is a solid player. He's complete too. Led the Falcons in tackles last year, led the Falcons in interceptions last year. He is a complete safety, and this is what I love to see here, Ray. Out there on the special teams unit as well.
Yeah, and on a number of watch lists as well as one of the top defensive players in college football. The punt from Kilcullen's going to fall a little bit shy of midfield and bounces ahead, so Andrew Smith unable to make a return as he goes running off of the field.
All right, beginning of the year, first game of the season, what happens sometimes is it takes a little while for you to build a little bit of momentum and to start to get rolling. We've seen both of these offense stalemate. Air Force already has a turnover with the fumble from Owens. Abilene Christian has gone 2 straight 3-and-outs. So we haven't seen much productivity on the offensive side of the ball. So right now, Air Force needs to settle into their game plan and let that triple option go to work.
There you see the numbers. Troy Calhoun has never lost a season opener, 9-0 in openers. And looking for his 10th straight in 10 years, the 1989 Air Force Academy grad. This is Romine on first down from the 47 of the Wildcats. The pitch back here. And the first run by Shane Davern. As Big Dav, as he is known, gets his first carry. I beg your pardon, is McVeigh, number 33. So Tim McVeigh with a carry.
And triple option, continuing to try to stretch that Wildcat defense out. Well, take a look at this here. Watch Tyler Williams, though. He's number 12. He's going to come in and lay that block right there that stumbled the corner in order to allow some good yardage on that run. So it's all about working together in the running game, right? Those wide receivers, I know it's a flashy position. You want to catch the ball, but those running backs need your help sometimes on that outside.
Oh, Robinette matched up with Butler on the far side, and the handoff this time is for Davern. Davern, the 6', 240-pound senior. Boy, you get that rolling downhill, it's going to be hard to stop come the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Davern and DJ Johnson, both of those fullbacks, both of them big guys around 240 pounds. It's a locomotive coming through the line there. Tough to bring those big guys down. But giving the ball to the fullback really keeps the defense honest. It has to be a threat in order for the defense to worry about it, and then maybe that can open up some of those gaps for you.
Still waiting to see Jalen Robinette make his first grab. A fumble, ball's on the ground again, and Abilene Christian has it one more time. So another turnover here for the Falcons, forced by Abilene Christian. And it's Timisan Kietsema who gets it, picks it up for the Wildcats. And Abilene Christian now with 2 turnovers on the fumble and the exchange between Romine and his running back. Still scoreless in the first. Back in Chicago on a busy opening weekend throughout the nation in college football and right here in Colorado Springs. And stacked up on the handoff. And now into the game in that backfield, Adrian Duncan with his first carry. As Lachlan Deeks comes up to make the stop.
Yeah, Duncan, another one of those seniors for the Wildcats, listed at 5'10", 205. He's got some nice size. They like to see what he can do in complement to DeAndre Brown.
Seeley's pass is caught over the middle at the 40-yard line there, picked up, and a nice catch. Jacoby Onyichi with the tackle.
You know, Wildcats on offense, when you look at Dallas Seeley and what needs to happen, this is a third down and sort of moderate. They're probably going to pass the ball, so the wide receivers got to make sure that they run their routes at the sticks no matter what.
Trevor Crane on the catch. Third down, Seeley. Far side, pass is caught, but great coverage defensively and a nice stop by Jesse Washington.
And that's my point exactly there, Ray. When it's third down and 6 or 7, even though you have a 3-yard route, you still have to run it 6 yards, because when you catch the football and get hit, you need to have made that first down. So that is a miscue by the wide receiver there, not running that route to the sticks because of the situation.
All right, Kilcullen on for another punt for Abilene Christian. Been able to force the turnovers, but really offensively haven't been able to move it against this Air Force defense. Andrew Smith set to receive, a scoreless game with the clock ticking, approaching 6.5 minutes to go in quarter number 1. As Smith calls for the fair catch. They'll mark it at the 18-yard line, where Nate Romine and the offense will come back out again. What's the mentality? Is there any confidence, the lack of confidence start to creep in, or is it too early for that?
We talk about the Wildcats on defense and not being able to simulate the Air Force triple option on offense. Well, the same goes for the Air Force Falcons, where they need reps. You got to get reps. And so Nate Romine, as we mentioned, I mean, he's been out 11 months trying to get back to full health and full strength, so he hasn't had those reps. So that's why it comes back down to those keys that we talked about at the beginning of the game, and ball security and being able to control the football, play in and play out within that triple option.
Well, Wildcats have had some success, some unforced errors. However, for the Falcons, Romine to Owens across the 20. and across the 25-yard line and just gets past the marker, so they move the chains on the first down. Owens gets the first down. Everybody hangs on to the football as Gavin Burford finally drags him down.
You gotta love Jacoby Owens when he gets that ball in his hand, but it seems like the Wildcats still are having an issue with finding the pitch man, having a secondary defender, a safety or a corner come down to take that pitch man, but just getting to him too late. Jacoby Owens is picking up yardage, play in and play out.
48 yards now on 4 carries for Owens. First and 10. Owens this time drives up the middle. Pick up a couple. I guess you got to keep the defensive line a little bit honest, not to spread it to the edge each time. Bryson Gates coming up to make the stop.
That's exactly what it is keeping that defense honest, ensuring that, hey, we may have a fullback, we may have a tailback who we give the ball on the inside sometimes, but you got to account for it every time on defense.
Pick up a 4. This is also going up the middle to Davern, and it looks like he has another first down. So the chains keep moving here for the Falcons. Trying to get into a groove here with 5:29 remaining in a scoreless game.
You see the first down numbers here. Air Force been able to get it going somewhat on offense. It's just those 2 turnovers that have really stalled their drives. And on the other side for the Wildcats, 3 straight 3-and-outs. Unable to get anything going on that Falcon defense.
Good crowd here on hand. A picture-perfect day for football here in Colorado Springs. Romine, plenty of time to throw, looking deep over the middle, and he's got Riffett. Riffett is going to take it in for the touchdown. As Ryan Riffett, his first touchdown grab of the season, goes for 62 yards, and Air Force is on the board.
This is the beauty of that triple option. You keep running it, and then all of a sudden you throw it. The Wildcats do not account for tight end 85 Ryan Riffett. They don't account for him. That's DJ Arnold's guy. You see him trailing him in the shot there. But the problem when you're going against that triple option, you're so used to them running the football, it's hard not to bite on those fakes on the inside.
7-0 in favor of Air Force here at Falcon Stadium to start the second quarter. Guys, I was over on Abilene Christian sideline after the offense came off the field in their last possession, and I heard the coaching staff telling the offensive line, you need to set down together and to stop giving up missed opportunities. They're really getting frustrated over there on the sidelines. Guys, that's something I know you keep talking about. You can't keep giving up these big missed opportunities on the offensive side of the ball.
That's a great point, Shay. Those missed opportunities, 2 turnovers so far for Air Force. Abilene Christian hasn't been able to do anything with it and turn it into any kind of points. So coaches are certainly right. They have got to take advantage of every opportunity, especially when you're going against a team like Air Force, because so far the Falcons have been inconsistent on offense. They haven't been able to get anything going, and you have to ask yourself, if you're Abilene Christian, is how long is that going to last? How long are they not going to get it going? So you got to take advantage of that and try to tighten this game and get yourself going on offense. And it all starts with quarterback Dallas Seeley. I mean, we're trying to see what the coaching staff was talking about how he's the guy, he's the man for the job. He's got to take command of this offense and start to get it moving in the right direction.
And we talked to the coaches. And we talked to the coaches too, Shay, and they're going to stick with Seeley. It sounded like it have to be a pretty bad situation for McKenzie to get in the game.
Yeah, they said Dallas, though, is still learning, guys. And Coach also said Parker has taken Dallas, the starter, under his wing and showed him how things are supposed to look like. They told us today we'd see Dallas really extend plays. We have yet to see that with this offense.
Some of it is play calling too, Ray and Shay. It's about which plays you call to give that quarterback an opportunity to do something with his legs. So we need to see rollout plays where the quarterback catches the football and rolls out to one side or the other so he can make a decision to either throw the ball or do it with his feet.
Well, we do see DeAndre Brown, that all Southland Conference running back in the game for Abilene Christian. And the play action, the pass is incomplete, but a late flag comes in as Hayes unable to hang on to it. But Hayes Lynn, it looks like, may be flagged for the pass interference.
Looked a little bit like Hayes Lynn got there a little early. He's number 14 in blue. Watch him to the left side of your screen. Just gets there just a tad bit early before the ball. The refs will get you every time with that.
Well, I guess if you're Abilene Christian, just moving the ball forward in any way is helpful. Moving it downfield. And they will take that automatic first down as they march off the penalty. And spinning. And brought down, tackled by Hayes Lynn as he's able to make the stop there as Abilene Christian continues to rotate different running backs into the game. Tracy James with his first carry.
We've seen a number of different guys carry the football for the Wildcats. They like this group. They think they have depth at that position.
Oh, we've seen Duncan, we've seen Brown, and now James has a carry in this one. And off, and it's James once again who squirts ahead for a couple. Going to bring up third down at about 5. Brody Hicks on the tackle.
Ray, I got to tell you, as a former running back, one of the things that I disliked a lot was running the football out of the shotgun. And one of the reasons is because it doesn't allow you to get your momentum going, much like an I formation, or if you're behind the quarterback, the way you see the field. So you can't get your momentum going quickly. You got to get your momentum going after you get the ball. So I never really liked those as my personal preference as a runner.
It may sound like just 2 or 3 steps, but it's an important first couple of steps.
That's a big deal.
Pass is complete to the far side, and a first down for Abilene Christian as Troy Grant gets the grab, the junior from Brooksville, Florida.
And a flag on the play here. We'll see what the call is.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, number 96, 15-yard penalty, added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
So another costly penalty here for the Falcons.
Yeah, they got Cody Moorhead, number 96. He's the defensive tackle. A little bit of hands to the face. So we've seen the Falcons a little off put so far in this game. A couple turnovers on offense, now a penalty on defense.
Trying to protect this 7-0 lead as the penalty helps get Abilene Christian across midfield into Air Force territory on first down. Sealy looking deep. And it's incomplete, beyond the reach. Kalen Sadler, the intended receiver, and he had a couple of steps on the defender.
Sealy did. That's another one where Sealy misses, just aired it out a little bit too much for Sadler there. Very rarely do you get those opportunities. It goes back to what Shea was talking about on the sidelines, that the coaching staff is preaching to the Wildcats, those missed opportunities.
Guys, Coach Cullums, though, not aggravated at all with that last play, encouraging his quarterback down here on the sidelines. Keep it going just like that. He wants him to throw it downfield, it looks like, or hand it off.
To the man in motion, and around the edge with some room to run, and a nice job there is Justin Miller coming from that far side receiver position.
Yeah, sometimes you got to switch things up on offense and do something a little different. This time we see Miller come from the other side and take the handoff in a reverse action. Nice pickup for the Wildcats, but you got to think back for the Falcons on defense. This started because of a pass interference and a hand in the face. That keeps the momentum going for the Wildcats on offense.
And another first down as getting deeper here, and they're first close to a scoring opportunity, as close as they've been in this game so far. Pass incomplete for Miller, but now a flag comes in, and Sealy slow to get up.
Yeah, they're going to get Santo here, number 97, the defensive tackle. He came in with his head on Dallas Sealy and hit with the crown of his head. The referees are going to call that every time. He had a free run at the quarterback. Watch him here. Number 97 in the middle of your screen comes free.
Number 97.
Hits with the crown of that head first. They're going to call it every time.
So another
penalty.
Big penalty against Air Force. And I don't know in this drive who has more yards, the defensive penalties or the offense for Abilene Christian.
It's hard to see, but regardless, for Abilene Christian, it's a good thing, getting them into the red zone.
Wildcats the beneficiaries on first down. Sealy, pass to the far side is complete, but great defensive play by Jesse Washington, who comes up and makes the stop on Josh Fink.
So an excellent job by Washington, not allowing the bubble route to fool him. Watch him up top. He's at the top of your screen here. Just going to come in and make the hit Those defenders always salivate when they have the opportunity to hit a wide receiver or skill position guy at full speed. They love it.
And it goes as a 2-yard loss for Abilene Christian on 2nd and 12. This time it is caught. Fink hangs on to it and picks up about 10.
Fink is another one of those freshmen for Abilene Christian who's getting an opportunity to play here today. Seeing his first action as a Wildcat, trying to make the most of it. This is a big series right now and a big down on 3rd down and 3. Now for the Wildcats, we've seen them run a lot out of that shotgun. If it were me, Ray, I'd like to see Dallas Seeley on a rollout here, give him an opportunity to get the first down with his legs.
And a whistle as Seeley.
Air Force has called their first time out of the half.
So just before that snap, Troy Calhoun getting a timeout on the field. Abilene Christian threatening for the first time as they trail 7-0. A 74-yard drive at this point, but the breakdown, they've been
how they got there.
How they've got there.
Yeah, more yards gained by penalty than by offense on this, but you'll take it any way you can get it if you're the Wildcats. 3rd down in short situation.
Wildcats in the red zone. The handoff is to James and wiggles his way and squirts his way free. Pick up about 4 or 5.
Coach Cullens and his staff decided to do something a little different there. We saw before Air Force got that timeout in the last play, they wanted to run the quarterback, Dallas Seeley, on a keeper. But because Air Force got that timeout, they decided to switch the play, and this time they handed off to James. But the result is what they wanted.
Jack Floor credited with the tackle, and it's been interesting. The linebacker core, they had some injuries last year and allowed some young guys to step up and have opportunities at the linebacker position. This will be the 10th play of the drive here for the Wildcats. 1st and goal for Abilene Christian. Seeley pump fake to the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. And it's Josh Fink who scores his first touchdown in a Wildcats uniform and pulls into within 1.
Fink, 2 catches on this drive. We talked about him being the freshman, getting a chance to see some action. He's going to be right here to the right of your screen. They go with the double move between 2 different players. So you pump fake to the outside guy and you send the inside guy on a seam. That guy was Josh Fink, number 87. And because of that good pump fake by Dallas Seeley, results in 6 points for the Wildcats.
Nick Grau on for the extra point. And we are tied here at Falcon Stadium. A 10-play, 85-yard drive as Seeley finds Josh Fink making his Abilene Christian debut. He scores and we're tied at Falcon Stadium. Game up as Josh Fink gets his first touchdown catch after a 10-play, 85-yard drive that ate up 4 minutes and 27 seconds of clock time. And we talked about much of this on the shoulders of the Falcons defense, unfortunately.
Yeah, plenty of issues defensively for the Falcons, and it wasn't just covering players, it was mostly just mental errors. We had a hands to the face, we had a helmet hit with the crown on the quarterback, we had a pass interference. Those things keep drives alive and put points on the board for the other team.
Well, Brendan Kahn set to kick it off. This is going to bounce out of the back of the end zone.
First down, Air Force.
Let's go down to Shea on the sideline. Shea.
Yeah, guys, when we talked to Coach Calhoun from Air Force, he said the key to win this game will be to have the turnover margin be on his side. So far, they have 2 turnovers. He also said on the flip side, they wanted to be able to pry the ball loose. Well, 3 penalties, as we saw on that last drive so far on defense. And he said the strength for Abilene Christian is that they don't turn the ball over. And guess what, guys? They haven't turned the ball over. So Coach Calhoun knew what his strengths and weaknesses were today.
When you got 10 years in the program, you have a good idea of what it's going to take to win and what the other team will do. Calhoun certainly was right on the money with that, and it's really surprising, I think, for all of us here right now, the issues in the middle areas that the Falcons are having on both sides of the football.
Romine to Tyler Williams on the pitch, and he's got a first down and more. Wiggles his way and stays in bounds, knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line by Royce Moore.
Falcons trying to mix it up a little bit here. Keep the defense honest. They focus on that interior running game from the triple option. You do a pitch to the outside, you got a chance.
And here's DJ Johnson into the game for Air Force, as he's able to charge ahead for a nice gain of about 7 yards.
Charge is the right word. I like DJ Johnson. Look at that size there, 5'10", 240 pounds. He is a bulldozer when he gets the football in his hand. It's hard to stop him for a few yards. Brings up a nice 2nd down and 3, a manageable situation. All the options are open for the offense right now.
Johnson missed 6 games last year with injury. Romine with time down the middle and falling to the ground, and here comes a penalty flag as they're looking downfield. Jabari Butler on the coverage of Ronald Cleveland.
We haven't had a chance to talk much about Jabari Butler and his incredible freshman campaign last year, but he definitely, I don't know why he's ranting and raving right now. This was definitely a pass interference. I mean, look, he's all over the wide receiver, all over Robinette.
Yep. Defense, number 7, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Tell you, those secondary players, right, they don't think they ever make mistakes. Can you tell I'm an offensive guy? Does that come out?
Well, isn't it a fine line that they have to walk? And it seems almost every season the officials emphasize something different than the year before. I could see where it would start to get confusing on what you can get away with and what you can't get away with. And it's Johnson through, but tripped up and falls forward for a gain of 3. Gavin Burford credited with the tackle.
This seems to be a good time for someone like Jalen Robinette. He's got one-on-one coverage on the outside. 2nd down and 8 in this territory. Sometimes it makes sense to take a shot. Let's see what the Falcons do. Robinette's right there at the bottom of your screen. He's number 9.
Romine keeps it himself and upended near the line of scrimmage. Royce Moore coming up to make the play, and they're really high on Royce Moore, the JUCO transfer from Long Beach City College. Columns saying, quote, he can really play, a physical player.
Yeah, he's got that typical size that you want at safety too, at 6'1", 185 pounds, so he can go up with some of the taller wide receivers, but he's still light enough to cover some of the shorter wide receivers.
Split his career as a wide receiver and a defensive back. Now springing free and taking it into the end zone is Ronald Cleveland for another Air Force touchdown. Has put 6 more on the board for the Falcons, a 33-yard touchdown for number 4 for Air Force.
Ray, what good coaches do is when something works, they go back to it. We've seen this pitch man work multiple times for the Falcons. This time, they pitch it over to Cleveland, and he's able to get inside and take it to the house. But it's all about being able to get around that edge. Anytime a runner with any kind of speed gets around that defensive end or around the edge of that defense, it's hard to stop him for any kind of yards. And when you got the wheels like Cleveland does, he can take it to the house.
And the extra point is on its way and good. First career touchdown for Ronald Cleveland, the young sophomore from Franklin, Tennessee. He played just 2 games a year ago. He makes it into pay dirt here at Falcon Stadium. Air Force back on top by 7. Well, here at the Air Force Academy, you got to get in some push-ups here for each point, right?
Oh, man. Jeez Louise. Glad I'm not down there having to do those.
Let me tell you something. We were at UNLV on Thursday night. 63 points scored in that game. Their ROTC was doing push-ups
too. Oh, man.
Oh, I bet the guys are sore in the pecs and the shoulders a little bit here today.
That's a pretty good workout right there. But another man who's getting a really good workout today, and that's Ronald Cleveland. First career touchdown on the in-around pitch. Boy, he looked good out there. Nice speed. Had a nice block on the outside from Ben Harris. That's what excites me, Ray, is when the whole team, especially those wide receivers, when they get involved in the running game, make blocks down the field. It just excites me.
Just his second career carry as well for Cleveland. Luke Strebel has it teed up for Air Force. Set to kick it away. And they're going to let that one go back through the back of the end zone. So presumably Dallas Seeley will come back out. And why not? After getting a little help from that Falcons defense on that last drive. But still, you have to take away the positives there. And perhaps this is an opportunity, that last drive, for the Wildcats to maybe start to get in a little bit of a flow and rhythm.
Well, the other thing that the Wildcats are always looking for is they're trying to find playmakers. We mentioned about the young players who are getting an opportunity to play. Number 87, Josh Fink, looked really good in that last series. So expect them to try to target him more, maybe give him a few more opportunities. When you step up, that's what happens. You get more opportunities.
He is certainly earning it in this game this afternoon. Seeley rolling to his right. And the pass intended for Kalen Sadler out of bounds. Weston Steelhammer on the coverage.
It just seems to me, Ray, that Seeley is just not comfortable right now. I mean, that was an easier throw. The coaches talk about how good he is outside of the pocket when he's moving around and making those accurate throws on the run. Seems that would be an easy one that he could have gotten. And it continues to get away from him. I don't know if it's the bright lights of the Falcons Stadium. I mean, this is an incredible atmosphere, something they're not used to. But he's got to settle in at some point. Because outside of that one big touchdown from Fink, he hadn't had much positivity in the passing game.
Well, he's going to try to throw it again here. It's 2nd down and 10. And coming up and disrupting that pass play. And a great job defensively, as we see Ryan Watson among others bringing the extra man. Grant Ross as well coming in as Claude Alexander.
Yeah, Claude Alexander really was the one on that play. And forced that football to not be thrown from Dallas. And that's actually a good job by Dallas, just taking the sack, not trying to do too much. When you're in a high-stress situation, high-pressure situation, sometimes as a young quarterback, you can make a real bad decision. Sometimes taking the sack is the best thing you can do.
It's the second time that the Falcons defense has gotten to Seeley this afternoon. Pass to the far side is low, but it is caught, but well short. Still 11 yards to go here as the punt unit comes on to the football field. Jack Floor covered nicely. Justin Miller as he jogs to the sideline with the rest of the offense.
Another 3 and out for Abilene Christian. At this point, Ray, they've got 4 different series where they've gone 3 and out throughout this game. So this offense has not looked great under sophomore quarterback Dallas Seeley.
Kilcullen set to take the snap. Andrew Smith deep to receive it, and boy, Air Force almost is able to get to it. Smith calls for the fair catch. It gets a little bit of room, and he makes the catch at the 45. Well, it's never too early for playoff projections. Who's in and who's out and who's ready to shake up the rankings. Join Campus Insiders every Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central for a live broadcast inside the college football rankings, powered by Exzience.
Have you had any of that Exzience? Have you traced?
I have
that
not.
Yet? You haven't?
I have not. Hopefully they send a case of that stuff. We could use it.
I know. I'm trying to put a bid in right now. They're listening.
31.
They have a sample.
31-yard punt from Kilcullen. Romine with the handoff. Abilene Christian stacks up the middle. Perhaps DJ Johnson picked up a yard, perhaps, to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Going back to those principles of the triple option. Use that inside run to the fullback to keep the defense honest. And then the next play, you either hit them with a pitch man or reverse or throw it deep. You get that defense moving up, keeping their eyes in the backfield. That's when you can trick them.
Johnson mentioned he missed some time with injury last year as Jacoby Owens with the carry. He crosses midfield to pick up a 4, maybe 5 on the play, and bring up 3rd and 4. Quentin Baker on the tackle.
An injured Wildcat here. Looks like that's Trevon Moore, number 99, the defensive tackle for the Wildcats. He's holding on to that shoulder. Hopefully he's okay. He's a junior. Another one of those big bodies up front for the Wildcats at 315.
Played 10 games last year, 8 tackles. That's the kind of experience you're going to need. And as Coach Ken Collins comes out, he spent 14 total years, a little bit of a break there where he went back to his alma mater, now back. And then again in his 5th season and overseeing this transition.
Ken's a former quarterback too over at Central Arkansas. So he's got that playing background that you like to see as a player as well.
Well, the college football season just getting underway in earnest this weekend. And next Saturday on Campus Insiders, join us for more Air Force football when the Falcons take on Georgia State. Kickoff set for 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central Time, only on CampusInsiders.com. I'll be here. Stormy Bonatoni will be on the sidelines, our talented Mountain West Network reporter. Seth Bonner will be up here in the booth, and you'll be hearing Darius Walker throughout the season as well here on our coverage of the Mountain West on the Mountain West Network at Campus Insiders. 3rd down and 4 as Romine looks in. Play clock down to 10. The pitcher to Tyler Williams. He's got the first down as he's knocked out of bounds just beyond the 45-yard line at the 44, but again, enough to move the chains. DJ Arnold pushes him out.
The Wildcat defense still trying to figure out that whole triple option and having someone for the pitch man. Brandon Richmond, number 41, he's a safety for him. He did a good job that time of trying to get down. They just need an extra body in there on that pitch man to stop the Falcons from eating up so many yards.
And again, we keep seeing them go to the edge and that get big yards out of it. They need to go away from it. Owens tries to go up the middle and then springs it, bounces it to the outside. Jacoby Owens played 14 games a year ago.
Yeah, watch 37 here. He's going to bite inside. That's the defensive end, Dylan Douglas. When you bite inside, any good running back is going to take advantage of that and exploit that, and Jacoby Owens did it there.
And a first down as DJ Johnson able to get it past the marker, but another injured Wildcat on the field.
This looks like number 90, yeah, LaMarcus Allen. He's their leader up front, so that's not great for them. We've already seen Trayvon Moore, number 99, another defensive tackle for the Wildcats, go down. This time it's Allen.
And this is something
with that leg.
They had to deal with this last year too, with a number of injuries. And you mentioned Allen. This is an all-conference honorable mention performer a year ago, so certainly high expectations for him. Be a tremendous loss when you consider that they've got 4 all-conference players that return on this defense this year.
An experienced bunch up front specifically for the Wildcats. And
that's good to see him walking.
He
wanted to, I think he wanted to run off the field.
That is a big man coming at you right there.
Oh, for sure. Now good to see him up and on his feet.
So lucky I'm in the booth and not on the field now. We see guys like that. Thanks.
Allen has a brother that plays arena football. So first down for Air Force. Romine rolls to his right, pass is caught. Robinette has it close to that first down marker and across for another first down just beyond the 20-yard line at the 21.
When you talk with Coach Calhoun all the time, you ask him about Jalen Robinette. He's like, we got to find ways to get him the football. This time they caught him streaking across the middle.
This is Johnson who charges up the middle. He's inside the 10, another first down as Air Force quick to the line of scrimmage, perhaps catching the Wildcats a little bit off guard. Bryson Gates on the stop.
This is the second time we've seen that for the Wildcats. They're not ready after big plays in Air Force. They're rushing to the line of scrimmage to get the next play off after big plays.
Johnson again charging up the middle. This time he's stacked up. There's a penalty flag on the play. It's a 12-yard run. The previous trot by Johnson. Gavin Burford on the tackle.
Offside. Defense. Number 9 lined up in the neutral zone. Half the distance of the goal. First down.
Well, and again, speeding things up.
Yep.
Costs them.
Causes problems, it really does. When you run that triple option, you got big bodies and big guys moving in and out for the Wildcats. It's an advantage to get up to the line of scrimmage and run the ball immediately.
So 1st and goal, 298 total yards for Air Force, looking to add to it here. This is Shane Davern, fullback into the game, as he dives to his left side for a gain of 1 or 2. Brandon Richmond makes the stop.
Second and goal for the Falcons.
This is the tough time and the tough area for the Falcons, because you look across that offensive line, most guys are in the mid-200s. They're going against guys that are 300 plus on the other side.
And here is the pitch to McVeigh around the corner, and he's in for the touchdown. Tim McVeigh with his first score of 2016. The junior from Cleveland put 6 more on the board for Air Force.
The Falcons just sticking with what's working here, and that is the pitch man. The Wildcats cannot seem to find that extra defender that they need on the outside to get someone on the pitch man in that triple option. Those quick hitting plays, rushing up to the line of scrimmage, that's an excellent drive by the Falcons.
And the extra point is good to make it 21-7 Air Force. Tim McVeigh picking up where he left off last year. Scored 9 of Air Force's final 13 touchdowns and gets in this time as well.
The score here at Falcon Stadium in favor of Air Force. Guys, coming up at the break, we've got an update from our studio as Jordan Cornett of Campus Insiders will join us. Plus, Steve Sin, Air Force recruiting coordinator, will join Ray Crawford in the booth to talk about the passing of the beloved great here from Air Force, D. Dowis. And we've got stats, highlights, and information coming to you at the half from Darius, Ray, Crawford, and myself. Guys?
All right, Shay, look forward to that. Thanks very much. Troy Calhoun looking on as his team now has expanded their lead back to 14, up 21-7 on the Tim McVeigh touchdown. Boy, McVeigh, what a finish to the year he had last season. 10 touchdowns for him, rose up the depth chart. Injuries kind of causing him to be pressed into duty in 10 touchdowns in the last 4 games. I can't think of a better player that finished the season than him.
You talk about taking advantage of your opportunities. McVeigh has certainly been able to do that, but some guys just have a knack for the end zone. And McVeigh seems to be one of those guys. Whenever you're around the end zone, anywhere in that red zone, you give him the football, he has a nose for finding it. He's a really good player. And Coach Calhoun and his staff really enjoy and like what he can do.
Well, they've had some success running the ball, and Jacoby Owens, that all-conference performer, 7 carries, 64 yards. We talked about the run average.
9.1 right now. It's definitely trending upward for the Falcons.
Gotta like that number. Sealy over the middle. That pass right on the button to Justin Miller, but can't hang on, perhaps peeking a little bit downfield first.
And he had a lot of real estate and room to run in front of him. That's just a drop pass. Excellent job by Sealy delivering it on the slant route to Miller. But the young freshman couldn't hold on to the football. And that's one of those teaching moments, you keep your eyes on the ball, catch it before you look upfield. He got a little excited there.
Now they're going to give it right back to him as Miller is able to sprint ahead and get the handoff 6 yards on the carry. Jack Floor forces him out.
Brought there by Jack Floor.
Gotta take advantage of those opportunities when you get them. Right on the inside of that defense. Had a chance to drop the football. But the coaches really like what he's done in fall camp. He's just a freshman, 5'8", 170 pounds.
Well, 3rd down and manageable here for Abilene Christian. Sealy's pass is incomplete. Intended for Troy Grant, but it goes out of bounds. Hayes Lynn had the coverage on Grant.
It's another one of those moments where this Falcon defense has just made Sealy feel uncomfortable in the pocket. It was an all-out blitz that time. They had the right call as Grant ran a stop route right at the sticks. He was open. Well, it's just that pressure kind of got to him, and he couldn't make a good throw.
So Cullen on again for yet another punt for Abilene Christian. He's getting a workout this afternoon. And Andrew Smith standing at the 35-yard line awaiting the punt. This is a good one. It's going to go deep over his head, bounce at the 17, and take an Abilene Christian bounce, and they'll let it roll and settle inside the 10. And that's where it will be spotted about the 9-yard line. So again, with so many talented running backs, I mean, take your pick on guys and what they've been able to do. A number of guys getting their hands on the football today.
Yeah, it's actually 8 guys who have really had their hands on the football. This is just the top 6 there. But you see Cleveland with that long touchdown from the end around, and McVay, talk about him and what he can do when he's in the red zone. And against the Falcons, you can never forget about Jacoby Owens and what he's done. That 9.1 average by him. Those are the numbers that you like to see. Troy Calhoun and his staff, they are always worried about average per carry since they run the football so much. They are certainly looking at that number and tracking that number throughout the game.
So Nate Romine in the offense back on the field. A handoff to Davern. The big fullback charges ahead. Pickup of 4. DJ Arnold upends him. Just shy of the 15. So 2nd down and 6 for Air Force. Quick back up to the line of scrimmage. Davern again. This time he squirts past the first into the second level. Good enough for a first down. Dropped at the 22.
Abilene Christian's really having a problem on defense after plays getting set immediately. They're running so many guys in and out.
Number 31 needs to leave for one play. He's losing his helmet.
Looks like we have a helmet issue here. That's DJ Arnold, the safety for the Wildcats. Got to come off for a play to get that chin strap strapped up.
Romine scrambling to his left. Flag comes in. Romine goes out of bounds at the 25. We'll have to see what the call will be here. Sometimes it's in that spot where you see holding.
Personal foul, tripping, offense, number 43, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So this is a significant setback on this penalty here that goes against Air Force. And a tripping there by Davern. After all the nice runs, the penalty marches them back. As you heard the official, half the distance back to the goal line.
Officials have done an excellent job so far calling this game, not allowing players to get away with little tricky, sneaky stuff like tripping in that instance.
Well, now Romine isn't quite sure what he's seeing, so he's going to call a timeout.
Their second charge time out of the half.
So Nate Romine will come to the sideline. And it's an interesting story, and it really bears to mention, I think, Nate Romine and the injury. But when you couple in the Air Force Academy as a cadet here, yes, he got another redshirt season from the NCAA.
Yeah, so he'll be back next year.
Then he had to go through another process in the Air Force, where he was given essentially a medical delay or a way that he could recover and not have to worry about the classwork. Yeah. But in order to do that, he had to withdraw from school.
Yeah, that was the tough part. So he got injured in game 2 last year, and he had such a long road to recovery that the academy thought that he was just going to miss too much time in school. So what they decided to do was say, okay, take a step away from school, leave school altogether, and then come back the following semester once you're closer to full strength and can be in the classroom and be around the program. So Falcon Nation's got to be excited that they will have Nate Romine one more year next year as their starting quarterback.
And it was interesting. He'd have to watch from the stands the games, and his parents would still fly in. It was an interesting way, kind of a part of the team, but not officially part of the team.
I cannot imagine having to go through that as a player, Ray. It's tough to see your brothers out there playing, and you're sitting in the stands knowing that you can't be involved. It's definitely frustrating. So Nate took that with a grain of salt and has made great strides in his recovery, and you already see him back out here game 1. It's impressive.
Davern gets the handoff and bowls his way ahead for a couple of yards. Davern Burford.
Abilene Christian has called their second charge time out of the half.
Abilene Christian
30 seconds in length.
Call a timeout. You go back to Romine and that injury, and And former quarterback Cale Pearson gave in the book Coming Back Stronger, written by Drew Brees. And Pearson also suffered a season-ending injury during his career, and one of the many books that Romine read throughout his recovery. The best place for the biggest games every Saturday, every week. Now that football season is here, don't forget Campus Insiders, your one-stop shop for rewind and replays of the best action of the day. CampusInsiders.com. On a hustle and bustle, you want to be sure to like us on Facebook. Over 400,000 followers. We might be at 500,000 likes by now on Facebook.
Absolutely.
This game also being broadcast on Twitter. So hello to everyone watching on Twitter this football game from Colorado Springs. Romine back, looking deep, turns it loose, and incomplete. Intended for Robinette, and that coverage by Butler gets flagged again.
Butler, again, we've talked about the exciting freshman campaign he had last year.
Number 7, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, he's going against one of the better wide receivers in Robinette, but watch at the end of this play, he's going to get him with that arm. They're going to call that every time. I mean, every time they are going to call that. And in many instances in that situation and in that scenario, Butler did not have to go after the wide receiver, just go after the football. That's the coaching moment for a young player, the young sophomore, talented sophomore.
Very talented. The league freshman of the year in the Southland Conference a year ago. And looking down over the middle, and this one's caught by Cleveland. Cleveland will take it in for the touchdown. Ronald Cleveland. The first time it was into the end zone with a run. This time a touchdown pass, 62 yards from Romine to Cleveland.
What a way to get your second career touchdown. But watch Cleveland. There's going to be in the middle of the field. This is the difference, in my opinion, against defensive players and offensive players. Offensive players, especially wide receivers, know how to go up and get the ball at its highest point. Sometimes the defensive guys don't track it as well, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Cleveland goes up and gets the ball at its highest point. It's another 6 points for the Air Force Academy.
Strebel on for the extra point. And the lead grows to 20 with 1:06 remaining here in the second quarter.
We'll take another look at this here. Cleveland's going to be in the middle of the screen. Jump ball right now. The offensive guy should win that every time, in my opinion. Excellent job by Cleveland. Turning into a big-time player right now.
Right before our
eyes for the Falcons. But we talked a little bit early in the second quarter, Ray, about how slow the Falcons came out and started. And we asked the question, well, how long is that going to last? You see it only lasted through a quarter and a half maybe, because the last 4 or 5 minutes, especially the last 4 series for the Air Force Academy, they've come away with points.
Yeah. More push-ups, but more smiles. These guys getting in their PT on Saturday. DJ Fuller is back deep as Luke Strebel has it teed up for Air Force. And what's interesting about Cleveland at 5'9", and there's been a conscious effort as this kickoff will sail easily beyond the end zone for a touchback. And Cleveland stands only 5'9", but there's been kind of an emphasis to really add some size and length at the wide receiver position here at Air Force. Most of their guys are 6'2" or taller.
Yeah, Cleveland plays a lot bigger than his size because he's got that big vertical jump where he can go up and really get the football. So
and he came back for that too, which was impressive.
He did, yeah.
2 guys, and he's had to come back a little bit underthrown, and a great job of adjusting with the ball in the air.
Yeah, most people don't understand. It's hard to track that football sometimes and adjust while you're running full speed and looking for the football. So some wide receivers can do that better than others. Cleveland is one of the good ones.
So Abilene Christian, no luck moving the field, moving the football upfield as James gets the carry. Ryan Watson on the tackle. Tracy James, part of really what's been a 3-man rotation at running back, and I would think that if you're a fan, you really wanted to see DeAndre Brown really pick it up and have a good day.
I know I expected to see him because he's a guy who was very experienced coming into his 3rd year as the starting running back for the Wildcats. Hasn't gotten many touches today. Hadn't been very effective when he's gotten them.
Squirting free is James, and he trips at the 47-yard line. Or boy, it could have been a huge run for Abilene Christian.
Yeah, freshman looks good here. Watch this inside zone run. See that little cutback? That's the difference there. Some backs have that vision to see it and others don't. It's very difficult to coach as a coach to tell a guy you need to be able to see this on the backside. James just is a natural talent there. Looks gifted as a runner in the backfield.
Sealy with a little bit of time throws downfield and off the fingertips of his intended receiver there in Vasquez Hayes.
Another missed opportunity for the Wildcats. First on the big run from James, he broke through the line and then tripped and fell right there on the turf. And then in this instance, wide open.
Well, now with 1 second remaining here in the half.
It's unfortunate. It really is, because the Wildcats have had opportunities, two back-to-back opportunities here on offense to put some more points on the board and go into halftime with some momentum, down a couple of touchdowns.
And James gets tripped up. Would have been easily several more yards on that run.
Air Force has called the third and final charge timeout of the half.
Is Air Force
30 seconds in length.
What is this timeout? This is just to make sure. Let's keep the football in front of us.
Now time for the Air Force chant presented by
And it would make some sense that as Kent Cullums comes all the way out to talk to the officials, Troy Calhoun interested to take a look, see what the discussion might be about. You think he's maybe asking for some more time to be put back on the clock?
Potentially.
To get 2 snaps instead of just 1?
That's what it seemed like to me, that maybe he thought that there should be a few more seconds left on the clock. Not sure it would have given them any more than just a single play. But every second counts in this game, Ray.
Well, they do have the preseason all-conference place kicker, Nick Grau, a career-long 42-yard field goal for him. So that 1 extra play to get him within potential striking distance. But if that was the appeal, it did not work, as James able to sprint free, and a solid way to finish up the second quarter for Abilene Christian, as James is finally dragged down as the quarter and the half comes to a close. Air Force with a 28-7 lead. And a tremendous first half put in by young sophomore Ronald Cleveland, playing in just his 3rd career game. And his 2nd career carry went for a 33-yard touchdown run. And then he tacked on a 62-yard touchdown grab from Nate Romine. And that's the difference here, 28-7 our score. Tim McVeigh also got into the end zone on a run.
Because he's only 5'9". Most wide receivers, especially in this offense, unless you're the slot player, you want them to be taller players, taller guys like Robinette at 6'4". Ronald Cleveland certainly having a good game thus far.
Well, Abilene Christian won. They toss, deferred here to the second half, so they'll open with the football. At the goal line is DJ Fuller out across the 20 and 25-yard line. And finally tripped up at the 27, so a positive start here for the Wildcats. Shaquille Vereen with the tackle for Air Force.
Now, Ray, I've never been one for changing quarterbacks, but from what we've seen in the first half from Dallas Seeley, I could understand the argument to say that maybe you move back to Parker McKenzie. Now, you actually had the chance to see Parker last year when he played as the starter for the Wildcats, and from what I've seen of him on film, he seems to be a really good quarterback. But right now, Dallas Seeley, coach is going to stick with him at the quarterback position.
Well, McKenzie, we saw them in their opener last year at Fresno State, another opening game against a Mountain West opponent. And he was tough. I mean, he had bloody noses, and he was beaten around pretty good by that Bulldogs defense, as Tracy James gets his first carry here of the second half as Grant Ross makes the tackle. And it looks like we've got some precipitation on the field, a little bit of rain.
Slight rain coming in.
Running to that right side, another positive pickup as Adrian Duncan on the run. Haji Dunn Jr. on the tackle. And a nice pickup. And kind of getting that momentum off that kick return here. They are 3rd and short.
And still an interesting note, Ray. No DeAndre Brown, the starting running back for the Wildcats. We haven't seen much of him this game.
It's Trevor Crane that lines up behind Sealy. The handoff to the second man through, which is Duncan once again. Duncan had just 53 yards rushing a year ago on 11 carries, played in 10 games, 5 career touchdowns for him. Lachlan Deeks on the stop for Air Force on the run by Duncan.
And another missed opportunity for the Wildcats. 3rd and short at midfield, unable to convert on 3rd down. And you look at the amount of times that they've had 3 and out, Ray. 6 different times that's happened for them, 3 and outs on offense. So this offense has yet to get moving under Dallas Sealy.
And it seems as though they're counting on sticking with him. Andrew Smith, is he going to get an opportunity for a return here? No, it's going to bounce at the 21 and take a big Abilene Christian bounce and rolls out of bounds in the end zone. Shay.
Hey guys, I talked to Coach coming out of the locker room at halftime, and he said he made some adjustments and they're going to work towards that, but he says they got to be better up front and that they got to be better running the football. I asked defensively how he thought his defense was doing, and he said, you know, we're doing a good job stopping the option, but we got to get some pressure on the outside. I also have an injury, guys. Devondrick Meadows, that defensive lineman, will not come back in the game, guys.
Shay, thanks for that.
That's a big blow to the Wildcats on defense. No Meadows. He's their starting defensive end.
Yeah.
So we'll see if LaFrance comes in, number 6, the defensive end for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Meadows a big contributor a year ago. 15 tackles in 11 games, and much expected from him as well. Looks like Jacoby Owens gets his first carry of the second half to that left side. Pick up a 4. Bring up 2nd down and 6. DJ Arnold coming up to make the play for Abilene Christian.
Owens is so important to what Troy Calhoun and his staff are trying to do on offense. The more touches they can get him, the better. And putting him in different situations.
This is Davern, the big fullback who charges ahead of maybe a pickup of a couple. They'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
It's 3rd down and manageable here, Ray, but what we saw a lot in the second quarter was that sweep action. We saw Cleveland score a touchdown on it. We saw McVay score a touchdown on that as well. So you have to think that maybe Troy Calhoun and his staff are going to go back to the well and run that sweep play. It's all about those 3rd downs, and you take a look here about the difference between how effective the Wildcats have been and the Falcons have been on 3rd down.
Some of these main running backs getting a lot of carries today. A number of them have had to battle injuries at some point in their career here in Colorado Springs, as Owens with a nice spin move to make the first man miss. DJ Arnold finally able to drop it. We look at Davern. He missed the final half of the season last year with an injury.
4th down and 1.
We've talked about the quarterback, Nate Romine. So that injury bug will plague all teams, especially in college football. It's a rough game. But how about that conservative call for Troy Calhoun and his staff? 3rd down and short on their side of the field. They decide to stay conservative and live to fight another day because they're playing so well on defense.
Well, and Arnold with a saving tackle there just shy of the marker after Owens with the impressive spin move.
You see Calhoun a little upset there at that. These are just things that you don't normally see from the Air Force Academy. I mean, mental errors we just don't usually see from them. So it's surprising to us, and it's surprising to Coach Calhoun as well.
Punt does get away cleanly. They're going to let it take a bounce, and it takes an Abilene Christian bounce. Picked up there at the 43-yard line of Air Force. The Falcons on top with 10:41 left here in quarter number 3. They will do, yeah. A few raindrops on the field. Sealy with the handoff there to Tracy James. James goes around the right side and may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. So still 2nd down and 10 as Abilene Christian now quickly back up to the line.
2nd and 10.
Claude Alexander on the stop. And a penalty flag as Sealy rolls to his right and throws out of bounds.
Yeah, the Wildcats tried to do what Air Force was doing, was after plays rush up to the line and move quickly, but this time and in this instance for the Wildcats, we had some movement out on the wide receiver position. Not sure which guy it was, but someone tried to take a step back or a step forward, and that was an issue.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 5. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
We got Troy Grant on that out in the slot position. But an interesting call by the Wildcats. They had trips to the left side of the formation. Decided to roll Dallas Sealy out to the weak side. He sort of had one option there at wide receiver, was unable to connect. And now you bring up again the predictable situation. You're ready for Air Force to blitz.
3rd 10. Abilene Christian hasn't had a whole lot of luck on 3rd and long today. Sealy looking deep down the right side. He's got his man. He's in for the touchdown. And it's DJ Fuller, the young junior transfer from Phoenix, Illinois, who is in for the score and puts 6 more on the board, 28-13.
We've been talking about Dallas Sealy and his ability to throw the football. Look at how perfectly thrown this is. On the run, hits Miller in stride. That's exactly what the coaches want, is hit the wide receiver in stride. That's a breakdown in coverage for the Falcons. Anytime you see a wide open player running down on the offense, that means someone on defense forgot to pick up their man.
42-yard touchdown strike. Impressive is indeed. Brendan Kahn on for his first extra point. 2nd extra point effort on the afternoon. 10-10 left to go here in quarter number 3. On the way, and it is good. So the Wildcats starting to chip away at things here as the offense able to get into the end zone. DJ Fuller in for 6 more as they cut into that lead, 28-14. Shay?
Yeah, guys, I asked Coach about this coming out of the locker room here to start the 2nd half. I asked how he thought his performance was so far in the 1st half. He said he thought it was good, all things considered. There was not going to be a quarterback change. He wanted to keep him in the game. And he said he wanted him to stretch the field more, which is what we just saw him do here. So Dallas Sealy gaining some confidence and momentum here in the 2nd half.
You got to be excited if you're Sealy about the confidence that your coaching staff really has in you. Because Ken Collins and his staff, they're going to stick with Dallas no matter what. Seems to be the thesis, but Dallas really giving them a good job on that last series.
No question. Fumble on the kickoff return for Air Force. Were they able to recover? Boy, and a big hit. Tim McVeigh on the return. And boy, he got hit pretty good. He needs some help.
Yeah, you got to watch McVeigh on this. He takes a shot on this kickoff return. Watch him. He's just going to come right up the middle after the bobble and lower that head and just take a pounding there. 4 or 5 white jerseys around the football and around the ball carrier. I'll have to check on Tim and see how he's doing, but man, did he take a shot there.
Wow, a decent return across the 20-yard line and the 21-yard line where Air Force will take over on 1st and 10 after the McVeigh return, and that would be a tough loss if he's unable to return. Romine, his pass just a little bit behind Ryan Riffett. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Riffett had another chance there. He's already caught a touchdown pass today. That time Nate Romine threw it behind his wide receiver, but that was an interesting wrinkle there that the Falcons did on offense. They've been running those sweep plays with the pitch. This time they fake the pitch and roll Romine out on the opposite side. He's just unable to find his wide receiver in Riffett.
Owens around the left side. He's got the 1st down and more. Jacoby Owens near midfield, and he loses it at the last moment, but whistled down. Brandon Richmond on the tackle.
Always excites me, Ray, to get wide receivers into the game on the blocking. Watch 12 here, Tyler Williams. He's going to be on the outside after Owens gets it. Look at the blocking here from the wide receivers. Excellent job at the 2nd level from the wideouts, blocking for their running back.
27-yard run for Owens. And off, charging up the middle, near midfield. A gain of a couple for Johnson.
The Falcons really trying to hold on to the momentum right now. The Wildcats came out with a nice strike from Dallas Seeley to cut the lead to 14. So this is a big series and a big drive for the Falcons in keeping that momentum.
And Johnson once again charges ahead. And Johnson again, one of those big fullbacks, 5'10", 235-pound senior, as he'll come off on this key third down here for Nate Romine and Air Force. Want to try to keep this momentum going after Abilene Christian scores a touchdown. They're not going to go away, are the Wildcats.
And keep an eye on Robinette at the bottom of your screen. He's number 9.
Romine looking downfield, and this one incomplete. Riffett in the neighborhood, in the vicinity there, but Brandon Richmond on the coverage as the ball falls incomplete, and they'll have to punt it away.
This is why first and second down is so important, Ray. When you're running that triple option and you don't get enough yardage in first and second down, it puts you in a tough third down situation because the offense is just not built for longer plays.
Wildcats set to receive this punt at the 10. It's a good punt, too. At the 5, and Air Force's special teams down there to swarm on the coverage. And they'll mark him down at the 6. Air Force on top, still 28-14 here. 8-point lead here in quarter number 3 as Abilene Christian's offense comes onto the field. Let's go down to Shea with an injury update. Shea.
Yeah, guys, we saw Tim McVeigh take a big hit there right before that touchdown, right after that kickoff, and I watched him walk over to the bench. They took off his helmet. They had him do a series of concussion tests, following the finger, asking him questions, him nodding yes. It ultimately resulted in him heading to the locker room. So I don't know if we'll see him back out on the field for the Falcons today.
All right, Shea, thanks very much. And that's not good news if you're Troy Calhoun and Air Force fans, and McVeigh as well, one of the players that has dealt with injuries and had a tremendous finish to the end of the 2015 campaign. Has a touchdown here today and expected to be a big part of the equation for Air Force.
Player safety so vital and so important to this game, ensuring that everyone is okay after big hits like that. Even when you say you're okay on the sidelines, the training staff takes an extra little time, take them into the locker room, evaluate.
And you can never be too cautious. Seeley's pass is bobbled and falls incomplete as Justin Miller can't hang on. No, actually, that's Fuller, DJ Fuller on the incompletion. Marquise Griffin covering for Air Force.
We've already seen Fuller with the touchdown catch. That time trying to run upfield before you actually secure the football.
Another 3rd and long for Abilene Christian.
Look at DJ Fuller again, number 16 at the bottom of your screen. He's one-on-one right now with Marquise Griffin, number 2 for Air Force.
And that's the direction he goes. The pass is caught across the 20 and a first down and a huge third down conversion. One of the rare ones today for the Wildcats. Marquise Griffin there finally on the tackle.
This is an excellent call by Ken Collins and his staff. Get the ball in your playmaker's hands. Short pass, but allow him to have some space so he can do it with his legs.
Wildcats quickly back up to the line. Seeley's pass over the head of Fuller, who kind of puts both hands in the air like not sure where you're going with that.
Looked like a miscommunication there. Seeley was thinking that Fuller was going to do a double move where he runs, stops, fakes like he's going to catch the ball and then take off running. Seeley even pump faked it as well. It's just miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver there.
It's too early for Abilene Christian to really start taking a lot of chances, isn't it? I mean, they're still in the ball game. As much as their offense is struggling, they still want to try to stay to some kind of game plan, it would appear.
Yeah, you really have to stick to the game plan and put together methodical drives. You're looking for a first down, not a touchdown. It's okay to take shots from time to time.
Duncan on the pickup of about 3, so another third down and long. Can the Wildcats put together back-to-back third down conversions?
You got to look at the outsides again for Air Force. They leave their corners on an island. So Jesse Washington and Haynes Lynn, both corners for Air Force, one-on-one coverage.
Sealy up top, and it's caught by Troy Grant. Oh, and he goes out of bounds, so incomplete. Nice grab, but just can't stay in bounds. Haynes Lynn on the coverage. So 4th down and well short of that first down marker. Here comes the punting unit on once again for the Wildcats.
The story today for the Wildcats has been missed opportunities, and this is another one of those instances. They got one-on-one coverage on the outside. Unable to convert. And that's really just been the story for them today on offense.
Andrew Smith staying at about the 28-yard line. Awaits a nice punt here from Kilcullen. Smith might get a chance. I thought he might get a chance to return it, but he let it bounce in front of him instead. A little bit of a Falcons hop ahead down at the 34-yard line. 2nd down. Sealy going up top. And it is caught by Fuller. Was he able to stay in bounds? It appears so, as they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 8-yard line. And another outstanding catch from DJ Fuller.
And this is an even better throw from Sealy here. Watch him lob this up right into that bread basket. Excellent job and an excellent throw on the run there. Taking advantage of Brady Hicks, the safety for the Falcons. It is his job to get over on those deep passes. He was unable to do so, which resulted in a big play. Another big play to DJ Fuller.
Went 35 yards, so 1st and goal here for Abilene Christian. And knocking on the door of pulling within a touchdown. Sealy. And that pass is batted down. Haji Dunn Jr. on the nice defensive play.
Love to see those backers get their hands up on those shorter throws. When you think about the Falcons on defense and how they leave their corners on an island, they try to use that edge pressure as something that sort of stops you from wanting to look out there. So those edge defenders in passing plays got to get their hands up. It's a nice job by Dunn Jr. knocking the football down.
And a whistle and a flag coming in. The players need to be separated on that line of scrimmage.
False start. Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Rare mistake from the center there, Austin Hessler. He's their vocal leader, makes all the calls on the offensive line. It's his job to make sure that all of his fellow brothers on that O-line know where they're going and what the play is. They expect him to be their leader, so costly false start and a costly penalty during a good drive for the Wildcats.
So he'll try it again on 2nd and goal. 1:32 remaining here in quarter number 3. And the Wildcats knocking on the door in the red zone. Sealy looking to his left, and another pass is batted down. How about that defense for Air Force coming up, getting those hands up?
This could be a coaching switch. Maybe coach just letting players know, hey guys, when you're on the edge of that defensive line and they're throwing those out routes, get those hands up, because sometimes you never know. You can get your hand on the football. We've seen that happen multiple times now for the Falcons on defense, getting those hands up. And now 3rd down and goal. You have to think that DJ Fuller, number 16 for the Wildcats, he's already got a touchdown here tonight. You got to think that he's going to be one of the guys that they're looking for.
And a whistle.
5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Make it a little harder on themselves in this situation.
A couple of costly penalties here for Abilene Christian. Went from 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Now they're all the way backed up. 3rd and goal at the 23. or from the 18, I beg your pardon. Crowd starting to come alive. The Cadets in unison on the far sideline in the stands, also making some noise. Seeley looking for the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for Hayes, it appears. Or Troy Grant, number 5 for Abilene Christian in that far back corner. Hayes Lynn, a busy guy today with the coverage.
Well, this certainly still, although they didn't end up with a touchdown, they hopefully can get some points for the Wildcats off of this drive. It's been a really good drive. They're mixing it up now. They're finding something on the outside boundary for wide receivers and giving Dallas Seeley some opportunity to air out the football.
Brendan Kahn on for the 35-yard attempt, and the Texas Tech transfer is off the mark, wide to the right. So Abilene Christian, their drive goes for naught. They get into the red zone, have first and goal from the 8-yard line, and the first field goal attempt by either team in this game this afternoon goes wide to the right off the foot of Brendan Kahn.
And yeah, he had an opportunity here. It wasn't that difficult of a kick, just kind of pushed it straight instead of to that left angle. But this just goes back to what we've talked about for the Wildcats all day. Missed opportunities.
Well, now Air Force will come out and take over. And this is the same kind of fight, though, you saw, even though they don't come away with points there. You're seeing, you know, you hear coaches talk a lot about seeing the biggest improvement week 1 to week 2. I think we're seeing the biggest improvement in Abilene Christian from half 1 to half number 2. As Romine keeps it himself, a pickup of 8, a couple of yards short of the first down at the 28. DJ Arnold on the tackle.
Air Force going back to those quick plays after a decent running play. Anytime they get positive yardage, they rush back up to the line, trying to catch the Wildcats off guard.
Johnson takes the handoff, dives ahead for a couple more, and enough for the first down. Gavin Burford in again on another tackle. Johnson, a veteran of 29 games in his career. This is his 30th game. Coming in with 827 career yards and 15 touchdowns. Romine has Tyler Williams wide open. A first down across midfield. One man to beat and knocked out of bounds, but not before a huge pickup and another first down for Air Force. Williams left wide open. Jabari Butler had to come all the way over to knock him out of bounds.
Falcons jumping into that playbook. Watch Romine here. Williams is just going to sneak out from the backfield. No linebacker there to cover him. Excellent pickup for the Falcons.
41 yards, in fact.
It's Jabari Parker who just got in there and pushed him out of bounds. He's the one person that Coach Calhoun said he wanted to look out for. He knows what a talent he is. He even said he thinks he can play on Sundays.
That's certainly a great comment from your coach there.
Yeah.
Thinking you got a chance to play at the next level.
As the third quarter comes to a close, a 41-yard pickup, Romine to Tyler Williams. The Falcons in business in the third.
At the Air Force Academy. What a sight that is. That looks good.
Yeah, and one of a number of improvements that they want to make here at Falcon Stadium, and the addition of the new one and one that was existing here as well. So plenty of opportunities for folks to see replays like that first touchdown we just saw from Ryan Riffett for 62 yards.
Knocked down by Royce Moore.
Ronald Cleveland continuing to have a solid afternoon.
This is actually the play he scored the touchdown on earlier in the day. That sweep action to the outside. And right now the Air Force is really liking that rush up to the line and snap the football, trying to catch the Wildcats off guard after big plays.
Davern on the carry. Davern gets it again, wiggles free. Dropped at the 12-yard line. So a gain of 3, bring up second down and 7.
By Bryson Gates.
Bryson Gates on the tackle as Davern comes running off.
He's had a pretty good day, the big man.
He had a lot of guys with 100-yard games a year ago. He was one of them, 130 in the game against Wyoming. Cleveland Tries to come around the end again, pick up a couple of more, bring up third down at about 4.
Cleveland's getting a number of opportunities in the running game today. And that sweep play, especially to the weak side of the formation. They like to try to get him out in space.
Cleveland moving a little bit slow on that sideline for Air Force. So third down and 4. Romine keeps it himself.
Romine hangs on to the football.
And going to be well short of the first down. Bryson Gates on the tackle.
This might really be one of the first times for the Wildcats we've seen them get the option right in terms of that gap control. That time Bryson Gates jumped out, was so far out that he could have gotten the pitch man had Romine pitched it. That was an excellent job. Seems like the Wildcats may be starting to figure it out a little bit as the game progresses.
Strable on for the 26-yarder right down the middle, so tack on 3 more for Air Force, make it 31-14 here early in the fourth quarter. Air Force hanging on. Abilene Christian gets the ball when we return earlier. And that video started with Oklahoma, but are they already out of the picture after losing to Houston?
That's a big win for Houston, too.
A huge win when you consider,
when you
many consider them from the group of 5 that
group
could
of 5.
get in the college football playoff.
Because when you look at their schedule, there isn't really any other big games and big competition that they'll have down the line. So everyone was watching that game against Oklahoma, and Houston delivered.
And with all the conversation about Big 12 expansion, and you hear the rumors about Houston, and here they beat the favorite on the football field to win the Big 12.
Certainly
it tells you that if you bring us in, we instantly
can compete. Certainly can.
And a great testament to what they've got going in Houston and with the Cougars. And you never know, there could be other conferences that we don't know about that could be interested in getting in that market and that program. A little bit of an end around here as a handoff goes to number 18 and Justin Miller.
Justin Miller, the ball carrier. He's knocked out of bounds by Brody
Knocked out of
Hicks.
bounds, Brody Hicks.
Trying to do anything you can to give yourself an advantage and try to catch the defense off guard. That time, I love those in arounds sometimes because the quarterback can get involved in blocking. That time Dallas Seeley tried to get involved. I love seeing that.
Seeley to James. Or rather Duncan. Duncan with the handoff as he charges up ahead. Duncan, career long of 30 yards coming last year for the senior.
Another one of those experienced runners in that backfield for the Wildcats. Third down and 1 here. They like to think the coach can say, hey, I know I can hand this ball off to my tailback and Duncan right now and get 1 yard.
Just to think, just a few years ago, this Abilene Christian program was in Division II, making the transition now from FCS to FBS eventually. As Duncan charges ahead and he's stacked up and stopped. So bring up a 4th down decision. And it's awfully deep in their own territory here, but it's something to consider here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough decision for Ken Collins and his staff right now. 4th down and short, but you're down 3 possessions. It's a 3-score game right now. They're going to go conservative.
Austin Kilcullen will.
Booth, Ray, but I'm of the proponents. You got to play to win.
Yeah.
Give yourself a chance.
Well, and Air Force is kind of not hedging their bets either. They didn't have anybody back to receive this punt, just in case a little trickery was up the sleeve of Ken Collins, but indeed they do punt it away. It's down at the 21. That's where Air Force will come back out and take over when we return from Colorado Springs.
Big thing about college football, especially from a player standpoint, is you always want to, can we play in the postseason? Well, the Wildcats haven't been able to do that, but they will be able to do that next year, so that'll be a big step forward for the program.
You see some of the future opponents coming up. They like playing the Mountain West opponents. Fresno State a year ago, Air Force here today, and then next season New Mexico and Colorado State on the schedule.
Mountain West Conference is a strong conference. You want to make a statement That's one way to do it. You got to play the best to be the best.
Now Arian Worthman, the young sophomore now in at quarterback for Air Force, pitches it outside of Jacoby Owens. He is on the run, still on his feet. A flag comes in behind him as he crosses midfield. And now Jacoby Owens with that run goes over the century mark. The first 100-yard rusher in the game today. DJ Arnold finally able to stop him.
Let's see what this call is. I'm sure Jacoby Owens is hoping that this call is not coming back, because that was an excellent run. But look at Worthman getting an opportunity to play.
Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
We got tight end Ryan Rifford with the hold. Rifford already has a touchdown today. Well, Shay, what you got for us?
Guys, before this series, I walked over and listened in on a defensive huddle, and the coach's staff basically said, keep working, keep tackling, and don't let them give up a big play. Kind of like we just saw there, even though it got moved back. And they also made the motion to punch the ball out. They said you're letting up opportunities where you can knock that ball out and create a turnover. We'll see if that happens.
Davern, thanks Shea, bowls his way ahead. He might be better than 240.
Just thinking that myself. I mean, he's got, like, they might have lowballed that a little bit, maybe by 10 or 15 pounds.
Quickly back up to the line again as Worthman in that offense. Davern gets it again over the left side. Picks up about a yard. It's going to be just shy here of the first down by about 6 yards, so second down and 6.
It's a great thing for Calhoun and his staff with Worthman. They like what he did in camp. They think that he's one of the big surprises, so they're giving him some quality action right now in this fourth quarter.
That's DJ Johnson with the carry. Worthman didn't play last year. But boy, the last 2 years of high school for him, if it's any indication of what he's going to do at Air Force, 5,794 yards of offense in his last 2 years of high school. And running that left side, Tyler Williams. Another impressive pickup for him. Brandon Richmond on the stop.
Stopped by Brandon Richmond.
These cadets are so impressive to me when you think about their grueling schedule that they have to go through on a week in and week out basis, especially over the summer into the spring. Don't even have time for two-a-days.
Yeah. It's early to rise, late to bed. Classes start early.
Sure do.
And certainly what they're willing to sacrifice, knowing when you come to Air Force or a service academy, despite the rule change like Troy Calhoun mentioned.
Number 77, Air Force, must leave for one play due to losing his helmet.
And James Rash there to right tackle. Number 77 going to have to come off a play.
When you do come to a service academy, even despite the rule change that you can defer your service till after a potential pro career, it's still waiting there to serve in active duty all over the world, all the service academies.
Really takes a special type of individual player and student athlete to make that commitment.
Tremendous discipline, and then to play it at high level too in the Mountain West. And FBS football, a big challenge as well, as Johnson barrels ahead for a first down. Gavin Burford with yet another tackle for Abilene Christian. He's getting quite a workout today.
When you talk to Troy Calhoun and his staff, and he talks about just the commitment that each of these student athletes have made and how inspired he is, that's one of the things that really keeps him going in his 10+ years here at the service academy. Seeing those young men take advantage of their opportunities to become leaders in their community and for our country. It's a big deal.
Cleveland takes the pitch, comes in there to the side. Clock continues to tick, and now it starts to become a little bit of an enemy for Abilene Christian to try to get things going. As you mentioned, the 3 scores out of this one.
Yeah, it's going to be tough sledding in order to be able to get back in this for the Wildcats. Not very many possessions left, and right now Air Force is doing what they do best, eating up the clock and running the football.
Take this play clock as far down as they can.
Keep milking it.
With 3 seconds left on that play clock as they bring it all the way down. The handoff is to Davern, who bowls ahead for a first down. So 2 things you don't want to have happen. Let that play clock run off and then give up a first down play. And a whole new set of downs here for Air Force as Davern little trouble with his footwear. He'll go off.
Get that new cleat. But so far, backup quarterback Worthman has looked good. And what you don't really understand is that while he may not have had an opportunity to throw the football, every single play he's having to make a decision on whether to hand it off to the fullback, keep it himself, or go to the pitch man. So when you make those decisions correctly, you're doing your job as the quarterback for the Falcons. And so far in this drive, Worthman's doing his job.
Timeout by Air Force here in the fourth quarter. As Jacoby Owens and the offense will head to the sidelines with a 31-14 lead. And Arian Worthman in at quarterback as Nate Romine's day is complete. 184 yards passing for Romine in this game, 4 shy of a career high. As Jacoby Owens charges ahead for the pickup of a couple. Clock continues to tick, and going over the century mark for Owens, now his 10th career 100-yard game here at Air Force.
What a career he has had for the Air Force Academy, especially when you look at the last 2 years. He's had back-to-back 1,000-yard season, but you got to understand those were at different positions. 1,000 yards as a tailback, and then when he had to switch to fullback, he had 1,000 yards as well. So a versatile runner and a dominant player for the Falcons.
When you come to play fullback at Air Force, you get a chance to touch the football, don't you? We've seen Davern and Johnson both carry the football in this offense. Johnson gets it this time. Dives ahead for 2. And Owens, part of that running back core, 6 feet, 202-pound senior from North Las Vegas. Last year he averaged 78 yards per game. There you get a look at his numbers today on 11 carries, 112 yards. He had 156 on 17 totes against San Diego State during the regular season. And the 4th player, as Darius mentioned, in Air Force history to have 2 1,000-yard seasons. So in certainly some rare company, as Worthman goes to Robinette. Jalen Robinette with his first touchdown. Been kind of quiet in this one with all the coverage on him, and he hauls it in for 6.
This matchup between Robinette and Butler has been an interesting one to watch. Not very many opportunities for Robinette, but when he's had them, one of 2 things has happened. He's either goes up and gets the football like he does right now, or Butler has been in a pass interference situation. So Robinette having an impact on the game, finally getting an opportunity to get his hands on the football and score a touchdown. And a great throw by Worthman there too.
Robinette on the Biletnikoff watch list, all Mountain West honorable mention from a year ago. Oh, and the snap goes over the holder, and it's going to be Strebel that's just going to kind of cover it up. And unfortunate miscue for Air Force, but don't take that away from Worthman's first career touchdown pass to Jalen Robinette, his first score 2016. Falcons take on Georgia State. Kickoff set for 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central, only on CampusInsiders.com.
Next week against Georgia State, they're going to wear the Legacy Shark Tooth helmets. Air Force will, that is. These were inspired by the painted fighter planes from World War II, which were called the Flying Tigers Squadron. So these are pretty cool helmets. If nothing else, tune in to see those.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that.
Certainly right. Those helmets are pretty cool. Yeah. And you'd be surprised to know, as a high school player, student athlete, someone who's playing, aspiring to be a college football player, sometimes the uniforms are enough to sway you one way or the other. You want to wear the cool gear. You want to be a part of something that's cool. Those helmets for the Air Force are really that.
You know, they've done that here, and you see that a lot of places. And just where we were at on Thursday night, what Tony Sanchez is doing at UNLV, really embracing Las Vegas, added Las Vegas down the pants.
Yep.
Until last year, they had spent 30-some years with just a gray helmet. They add a red. Now they're going to add black this year.
Telling you.
So, yeah, I mean, definitely I think the players really like to look sharp, like to have the swag on Saturdays, and you can't blame them for it. And that play snuffed out by that Air Force defense, and a flag on the play as well.
That's Trayvon Moore.
Looks like a face mask may be coming up.
There is no foul for a face mask on the play. The jersey was grabbed. Second down.
All right, so
well, one thing the referees have certainly done all day, really gotten the calls right. Excellent job by the officiating crew.
talk about facility improvements here at Air Force. In Abilene, Texas, at Abilene Christian, they're building an entire new stadium for the football program, set to open in September of next season. Again, just continuing to part of that growth of getting into the big game of Division I football.
I got a chance to talk to Lee DeLeon, the athletic director for Abilene Christian, and that's one of the things he stressed on is that next year they're finally going to have the opportunity to play in their home stadium and what they will call their home stadium on campus. So it's going to be perfect timing for them because they'll be completing that Division I transition. So a lot of exciting things happening for Abilene Christian.
And one of the games on their schedule, as we mentioned, Colorado State, who opens a brand new stadium. They've got one being built under construction. Sealy under pressure, coming to his right, and it's caught. And plenty of room for Tracy James across midfield, goes unchecked. James still on his feet, a stiff arm. Will he get into the end zone? Tracy James goes the distance. And wow, just like that, Abilene Christian with a 76-yard touchdown to close the gap to 17.
The Falcons blitz here, and no one covers the running back out of the backfield. Sealy able to extend the play with his legs and just get the football to Tracy James, and no one's there. And then he's got the goods and the versatility. Love the stiff arm there, cut back inside. And this guy's just a freshman. You'd like to see what he could do with the football in his hands. Just an innate ability and talent.
Well, goodness, with 4:14, this is getting a little bit more interesting as Abilene Christian refuses to go away. Much what you would expect, despite being picked to finish 8th in the 11-team Southland Conference. They're putting up quite a fight to the finish here in Colorado Springs as the extra point from Brendan Kahn is good. So make it 37-21 as the Wildcats draw a little bit closer with 4:14 remaining in this one.
Well, there's a big question right now for Air Force and what you do on offense. We saw Nate Romine, at least in the last series, they had taken him out and put in Worthman. So we'll see if they continue to go with the backup quarterback in this situation. You're up 17 points with 4 minutes left. How conservative will Troy Calhoun and his staff be?
It'll be interesting to see. Worthman, I think, did a pretty good job. And let me ask you, for a young guy who didn't play last year, running this type of offense, can you simplify it for a quarterback? Is there a way to do that?
Not really. It's really going to take repetition, and that's why it's so difficult for Air Force and their players, and specifically the quarterbacks, is they just don't get many reps. They don't get many opportunities because of all the other commitments of the cadets. So it's impressive when you see a guy like Worthman come in and be able to run the offense without any issues, without any problems.
Well, could be a much different game here as Air Force preparing for what could be an onside kick. It's not. It's going to be a normal kickoff that's going to take a bounce and go into the end zone.
This is the second time, Ray, you kind of scratch your head a little bit for the Abilene Christian Wildcats and playing to win. Conventional wisdom at that point, 4 minutes left in the game, you're down 3 scores, onside kick.
Yeah.
Try, you got to try.
Right. Either that or they really trust their defense here, but Worthman has done a good job in that last drive, his first drive of his career. I mean, and under duress, takes a hit as he throws the football to Robinette in the end zone for the touchdown.
You got to try to keep that offense off the field and give yourself an opportunity.
But a 16-point game now, and what should be a 17-point advantage for Air Force after the miscue on the snap on the extra point. And Abilene Christian had a missed field goal attempt as well. So it could be even a little bit closer than it is here. A flag and a whistle. Cole Burgess, it appears, maybe jumped.
Offside, defense, contact in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Abilene Christian helping out Air Force a little bit when they need the football back. And they need to make stops here and try to force a 3 and out. And now the penalty marches off 5 yards and still that first down on the marker. Johnson with it up the middle. He's got the first down and then some. Give him a 7-yard pickup to the 37.
It's so hard to stop the Falcons, even when you know they're going to run the football, because 3 or 4 different guys can get it. That's the beauty of the triple option is you make the defense guess. The Wildcats have been guessing all day.
You know, and it is interesting that you mentioned potentially doing the onside kick. If this drive goes well for Air Force, Abilene Christian may not even touch the football again.
May not get it again. Game's over. So in these instances, I mean, I hate to think that you say, oh, well, we're close. This at least lets it look like we were competitive in this game. You got to try to win. When you got an opportunity, you got to try to win. And onside kick is one way to do that.
And it's certainly not a one-possession situation either. Sam Denmark, we have not called his name a lot today. He's one of those all-conference performers from a year ago. In fact, he led all of FCS football, the entire nation, in tackles last year.
Really good linebacker. He's preseason all-conference in the Southland Conference this year as well. He's number 34. Dominant player, but he's getting lost in this triple option offense that the Falcons are running.
Johnson with the carry prior to this snap. Worthman up to the line on 2nd down and 6.
You have to think for Denmark, this is not an offense he's used to seeing or playing against.
Royce Moore coming up to stop Johnson. You get a look at Denmark. All-conference honorable mention a year ago. His first start came in his 2nd game as a freshman. Really hasn't looked back since. 7 tackles for loss a year ago, 2 sacks. The junior from Las Cruces, New Mexico.
He's that prototypical size at 6'1", 230. Nice feet for a linebacker. Can make plays in space.
And a big 3rd down potential stop. They're going to bring the extra guy here. And pitching it outside to Owens, who spins, and he has the 1st down. Boy, when you need a big play, you give it to your big-time all-conference guy to get some key yards here with the game. They wrap this thing up with 2:09 and counting left.
Owens continuing to show why he is the dominant man for touching the football for the Falcons. Damian Howard, the Sam backer, had a chance for Abilene Christian to get Owens down in the backfield, but just was unable to do so. And now this goes right back to the call by King Collins and his staff to kick the ball deep. And this clock is just eating away and eating away.
Air Force has called their 2nd charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds in white.
So Air Force calls a timeout, and you saw the statistic there. Boy, what a run of games it has been here at Falcon Stadium. A lot of success over the years, in the last 2 years specifically. Home openers have been fantastic. And against non-conference foes, there's a statistic, they haven't lost to a non-conference team at home since 1994.
Been a while.
A long time.
Long time of dominance. Troy Calhoun and his staff, when we spoke to him, one of the things he talked about, we've touched on it. They had a great year last year, got to the championship game in the conference. First time that's ever happened in Air Force's history. But he was adamant with his team and with his players that last year doesn't earn you anything. You still got to go out and compete. And today, with a big win against a pretty good Wildcat team, is definitely taking a first step.
So any rust that we thought we might see from Nate Romine, it seemed like it shook off. We saw both teams really kind of settle in. Once there were a couple of turnovers by Air Force, they settled in. Romine with a couple of 62-yard touchdown passes today. McVeigh leaving with, we'll just call it upper body. Yeah. Appears to be, he got his bell rung a little bit on a kick return. Hopefully he'll be okay.
But we saw, what's great about it for the Falcons is we saw so many different guys touch the football and have success. I mean, who would have known that Ronald Cleveland would have 4 carries and a touchdown run?
Yeah, and those are the type of players that you're going to need to step up and make substantial plays, especially when a guy like Jalen Robinette every week is going to get so much attention.
He is. And they've got to continue to try to find ways to get him the football.
Are you surprised they didn't use him on some of the end-around toss pitch plays today?
Not exactly. Robinette, his skill set is being able to go up and get the football. He uses that big frame at 6'4". That's what he does best. He's not necessarily a speed guy, but it is surprising that he didn't get more targets, for sure. But the Falcons get it done one way or the other.
Clock winds down. The 0-0s. The two head coaches, Troy Calhoun and Ken Collum, meet at midfield. And Air Force picks up their first win of the season. And they will, of course, welcome Georgia State in to Colorado Springs next Saturday as well to open up the season with a pair of home games. The defending Mountain West Division champions open up the season with an impressive 37-21 victory as the two teams meet at midfield and shake hands. As a lot as we continue our conversation here about the Falcons, a lot for them to be pleased with defensively. Things seem to go well for them.
And if you're Troy Calhoun, the way you really look at this is you say, all right, there are some good things that we did, but the slow start is really what brings me to be cautious about this game as a whole. You can't start slow, especially in this Mountain West Conference. We can say it at length about how many dominant football teams are in this conference and the quality of schedule that the Falcons play. You cannot start fast or cannot start slow and turn the football over. So that will definitely be something that the Falcons will work on as they move forward.
All right, Shay is with Coach Calhoun. Shay.
Coach Jacoby Owens with over 100 yards, Cleveland 2 touchdowns, Romine with 2 passing touchdowns. What do you think of the offensive effort today?
Well, I mean, really spotty and inconsistent. I shouldn't say you're shocked for a first game, but I mean, clearly, there's an awful lot that we have to fix and get cleaned up and play at a much higher level. Yeah, that's also a credit to Abilene Christian. They got a good football team.
Defense gave up 21 points. Still a nice win for you, though. I know there were some miscues, some penalties, what you're talking about here. What corrections do you need to make heading into week 2?
Well, I think to limit some of the big plays, balls that were thrown down the field, especially in long yardage situations, we got to get that corrected.
All right, Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
Guys, the win streak at home continues. Back to you.
It does indeed. Shay, thanks very much for all of your hard work down there on the sideline today. And again, Darius, great to have you back in the booth again with us and to partner with you. We had a game last year, and we look forward to more games with you this season. And good one right out of the gate. I know you had Utah State on Thursday and another good one here at Falcon Stadium.
Yeah, and I'll be over at Colorado State next week, so looking forward to the Mountain West Conference and college football. It's a beautiful thing.
Keeps on rolling. A lot of talented players in this conference, and we invite you to watch all season long here on the Mountain West Network on Campus Insiders. The Cadets and the football team celebrate a victory here. For Darius Walker and Shea Pepler, I'm Ray Crawford saying so long from Air Force Academy, where the final score is 37-21. The Falcons with the win. For more live Mountain West Network broadcasts, features, and information, go to campusinsiders.com. This has been a presentation of the Mountain West Network on Campus Insiders. Again, the Falcons a winner 37-21. For Darius and Shay, I'm Ray saying so long from Colorado Springs.